Philips Evnia 49M2C8900. This beast is basically two monitors stitched together, wide enough to lose your mouse and possibly your friends. Colors pop like a confetti cannon, thank QD OLED tech, and HDR movies feel like watching a sci-fi blockbuster in a small spaceship. Work? Sure. If you enjoy spreadsheets stretching like yoga mats, plus, the ambient lighting turns your desk into a disco for Excel enthusiasts. Just don't let it overheat, unless roasting marshmallows at your workstation sounds appealing. Overall, it's big, bold, and bends reality. 9 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey G9. This curvy monster will wrap your games around your skull so tight, you'll need neck exercises after every session. 240 Hz refresh? Like a hummingbird on Red Bull. Everything is smoother than a jazz sax solo, and HDR makes even horror games look inviting. No speakers, though. So you'll need headphones unless you want to reenact silent movies, and it costs a small fortune. Start saving or start robbing banks. Bright as a spotlight, with a curve so dramatic, your cat may try to sleep inside it. It's the monitor equivalent of a theme park ride. 8 out of 10. Philips Evnia 32M2N8900. Finally, a 32-inch 4K OLED that's wild quick and so colorful your eyeballs might file for overtime. Gaming here feels criminally smooth, with a response time so fast it almost predicts your next move. Plus, built-in ambiglow feels like mood lighting for your battles. Text is razor sharp, colors are more vibrant than a pack of highlighters, and even 4K movie nights turn into a private IMAX experience. Stand is a bit chonky though. Great value, although the speakers try their best but mostly sound like they're underwater. Still, for the price, it's a steal. 9 out of 10. Asus ProArt display, OLED, PA32U-CDM. This ProArt is like someone gave a Ferrari a paintbrush and told it to design their living room. Super sleek, accurate colors that could make your grandma's watercolors jealous. Motion is smooth and fast enough to leave your enemies blinking in confusion, though the creative nerds will love its flexibility more than its gaming brawn. Connectivity is a bit stingy, so you'll be juggling cables faster than a Twitch streamer dodges copyright strikes. Sure, it's not cheap, and the speakers sound like they're auditioning for a spot inside your laptop, but if you want pixel-perfect 4K at 240 Hz, this is borderline art class for grown-ups. 8 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG27U CDM. The ROG Swift PG27U CDM is the monitor equivalent of a hypebeast sneaker drop. Quick, flashy, and everyone wants one. Colors pop like your childhood cereal. Response times are so instant they'll finish your game before you do. And input lag is frankly illegal in 3 states. HDR is sweet, and you get every gamer feature you could ask for. Just don't check the price if you tend to faint at fancy numbers. A little flicker here and there, but honestly, who isn't a bit chaotic at 240 Hz? 9 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey Neo G9. What do you get when you stretch a monitor until it curves around your desk like a sci-fi windshield? The Neo G9, a monster that feels more like Command Central than a mortal display. Its blistering 240 Hz speed and wall-shaking brightness could probably be seen from space, although you'll need a GPU hotter than your ex's takes. Local dimming makes blacks black enough to question your life choices, but the curve is so aggressive your desktop icons might get motion sickness. No speakers, no remote, and affordable ran screaming from this price tag, but immersive gaming and widescreen glory is genuinely next-level bananas. 8. 5 out of 10. LG UltraGear OLED 32GS95 UVB. This beast looks like it was ripped straight from a sci-fi movie. 32 inches of OLED magic, serving up color so bold it'll make your old monitor blush. Fire up 240 Hz, and your reflexes will finally be faster than your excuses, plus the near-instant 0.03 ms response basically erases your shameful missed shots. Sure, you'll need DisplayPort to actually hit that glorious 240 Hz, but it's worth rerouting every cable in your house. HDR support and anti-burn tech keep everything crispy and drama-free, so you can battle for hours without worrying about your screen aging faster than you. 9 out of 10. Gigabyte MO27U2. Gigabyte squeezed 4K gaming into this 27-inch QD OLED stunner, and it's so sharp you'll notice details like pixel sweat. With a 240 Hz refresh rate, it's smooth enough for FPS tryhards and buttery enough for your cat videos. Plus, its 0.03 ms response time means you'll spot enemies hiding in the shadows before they even spawn. Brightness hits peak 1000 nits, which is one way to nuke all sun glare without ever leaving your bedroom. And the colors splash wider than your favorite meme page. Toss in tactical gaming features and anti-flicker, and you're set, unless your PC's jealous. 8 out of 10. Asus ROG Strix OLED XG27U CDMG. The ROG Strix XG27U CDMG has a 4K QD OLED panel so vivid you'll be asking your game characters for sunscreen, with a disgustingly sharp 166 ppi and color accuracy tuned like a supervillain's evil plan. 240 Hz translates every flick to instant victory, or at least instant embarrassment. And Asus packed in sRGB DCI-P3 emulation modes, so your games and Photoshop both look criminally good. Anti-flicker wizardry keeps your eyes happy, and input lag is so low your instincts get a starring role. No fan means no wine, just non-stop greatness. 9 out of 10. MSI Mag 325CQRXFE2. Curved like your favorite racetrack and sharper than my grandma's elbows, this MSI beast packs a dense QHD VA panel with speed that'll make your reflexes question their own existence. Colors go bolder than the neon lights in Tokyo. But watch out. If you peer too close, a few scan lines might be playing hide-and-seek with your eyeballs. Gamer-friendly features galore mean you're living in the lap of esports luxury, while the anti-glare coating keeps your dignity and face safe from reflection. All that tech does run a little toasty at the edges, so if your pet lizard needs a sunbathing spot, this might become their go-to. 7 out of 10. Gigabyte MO27Q2. This sleek, futuristic 27-inch QD OLED slab drops jaws with buttery-smooth 240Hz and colors so punchy you'll want to frame your KDA. The ultra-thin profile gives off secret agent vibes, while its stand offers more moves than an Olympic gymnast. Spin, tilt, pivot, pose for selfies. With factory-calibrated colors, HDR, and brightness that won't quit, this panel looks as dazzling as your future frag reel, minus the gamer RGB bling. Bonus points for built-in speakers, and enough ports to turn your desk into mission control. Just don't expect them to start talking back. 9 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey OLED G8 G80SD. Meet the monitor that moonlights as a smart TV, flashes infinite contrast, and brings ultra-wide, curved style to your desk like it's runway ready. The OLED panel serves up blacks deeper than my existential dread, with colors so rich you might start judging your snack choices. Motion performance is chef's kiss, with a 0.03 EMS gray-to-gray time that basically laughs in the face of ghosting and input lag. The user interface is as complicated as your last relationship, and the mini HDMI cable is nowhere to be found. So BYO cable, champ. 9. 5 out of 10. Dell Alienware AW3225QF. Curved 4K and OLED. Yeah, this Alienware is flexing like it's the final boss at a rave. Colors? They pop so hard you'll want to wear shades indoors. And seriously, the blacks are deeper than my will to tidy cables. Setup is fast and drama-free, unless you count hunting the remote down every 2 days. Dolby Vision is here, ready to nuke your pupils. But sometimes Windows throws a tantrum, so prepare for some nerd wrangling. 9 out of 10. Samsung Odyssey G6 G65B. This Samsung's curved 240Hz panel slaps your face with buttery-smooth gameplay, even if your reflexes peaked in 2013. The built-in smart system means you can binge entire seasons straight from your monitor, no PC required. So say goodbye to productivity. FreeSync and G-Sync support keep things refreshingly tear-free unless you peek from the side, where viewing angles are basically playing hide-and-seek. Not the brightest HDR star, but still more immersive than your last existential crisis. 8 out of 10. LG UltraGear 27G R95 Key B. LG's UltraGear comes in swinging with a 240Hz OLED that's basically the Usain Bolt of response times. Fast, clean, and ready-to-roast screen tearing into oblivion. Perfect blacks, wild colors, and a remote for changing settings without ever standing up, which is peak gamer energy. Beware a few annoying quirks, like flicker and dark scenes and settings hidden behind that remote. Lose it, and you're basically gaming blindfolded. It's sleek, it's sharp, it gets a little weird out of pure OLED stubbornness. 8 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG39 WCDM. Meet the ultra-wide beast that will eat your desk for breakfast. This 39-inch curvy OLED pops off with enough brightness to tan your face while gaming. The colors are so wild you might start seeing rainbows in your spreadsheets, and that 240Hz refresh rate is smoother than a jazz sax solo. It's got a KVM switch for your multi-PC flex, plus G-Sync, and a ridiculous 800R curve that feels like gaming inside a burrito. Only downside, it'll burn a hole in your wallet and maybe in your heart if you stare too long. So bring sunglasses and a second mortgage. 8 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG32U CDP. This 32-inch dynamo lets you choose between crispy 4K at 240Hz or an esports-friendly 1080p at a ludicrous 480Hz, like switching gears between cinematic masterpiece and FPS sweatlord. With OLED blacks deeper than your existential dread and colors brighter than your grandma's favorite lipstick, it's a monitor ready to party. It zaps lag into oblivion, and the extra USB-C juice means you can charge your rig while you frag. VRR flicker can be a buzzkill, but you'll be too busy grinning at how easy it is to obliterate your kill-death ratio. 9 out of 10. AOC Agon Pro AG276QZD. The everyman's OLED, this 27-incher delivers QHD and 240Hz for gamers with taste and a monthly budget. Black levels so infinite you'll wonder if electricity is optional. With colors so punchy your eyes might file for overtime. Its build is slick, though the plastic stand feels like the monitor's oops, all cost-cutting moment. And HDR brightness won't blow your mind, but all that buttery motion and cable-hiding magic keep things tight. If you want OLED speed without selling plasma, grab this one and pretend the stand is minimalistic. 8. 5 out of 10. MSI MPG341CQPX-QD OLED. This ultra-wide beast gives you colors so rich, you'll wonder if your retinas signed up for a premium subscription package. The 240Hz refresh rate and zero lag response make everything look so smooth you'll think you've hacked time itself. But beware. The glossy screen reflects everything, including your questionable life choices, and the sub-pixel layout means text clarity sometimes does funny things. If you're gaming in the dark, blacks are deep and inky. But in bright rooms, they try their best purple cosplay. 8 out of 10. LG UltraGear 27GS95QEB. This OLED marvel is as fast as your impatience for respawns, and the 240Hz makes every pixel zip around like it's had 3 espressos. Colors are lively, HDR pops, and blacks devour light for that extra moody vibe. But if your desk lamp attacks, it'll hold the line. No built-in speakers, so your victory soundtracks must fend for themselves, and VRR flicker in dark scenes is the jump scare nobody asked for. It's basically a window into your GPU's soul, minus the burn-in paranoia. 8. 5 out of 10. Gigabyte Aorus FO32U2. This is the big dog of 4K OLED gaming, flexing crispy visuals, blazing fast 240Hz action, and a DisplayPort 2.1 that pushes frames harder than your older brother's advice. Colors slap. Blacks are so deep they double as existential therapy, and the KVM switch is perfect for multitaskers who can't sit still. Premium price alert. It'll make your wallet sweat, but it's like driving a race car with cheetah reflexes in full UHD glory. 9 out of 10. Gigabyte M27QX. This monitor brings you buttery smooth 240Hz action, so fast you'll forget what lag even feels like. Colors pop like someone spilled Skittles on your desk, and the input lag is so low you could win a duel before your opponent even loads in. The stand adjusts like a transformer, though it whines louder than my graphics card under stress. It's missing 4K, but unless you're counting pixels with a microscope, you'll be grinning at this QHD beauty. 8 out of 10. Philips Evnia 32M2C5A500. Curved like your favorite racing game track, this 32-inch VA beast glues you to the sweet spot with 240Hz speed. It's so bright and punchy, I almost needed sunglasses. Just don't expect perfect colors in the corners, unless you're an art critic. Eco-friendly packaging lets your conscience game guilt-free, though the polystyrene foam makes me feel like I just leveled up in recycling. If you move out of center, things get washed out faster than a Twitch speedrun, but stay put, and it's a feast for the eyes. 7 out of 10. Gigabyte Aorus FO32U2. OLED glory and glorious 4K at 240Hz. Honestly, your GPU will sweat just thinking about it. The response time is so fast it feels illegal, and blacks are deeper than my existential dread at midnight. The fanciest stuff like USB-C and KVM make multitasking a breeze, for those who work between matches, which is no one. Brightness can get wild with HDR, though sometimes it's a tad warm feeling. Think cozy blanket, but for pixels. 9 out of 10. MSI MAG273QD OLED X24. This 27-inch speed demon crams so many vibrant pixels into its QD OLED frame, you'd think your game's just discovered color therapy. Blink and you'll miss its flicker. At 240Hz and a ridiculous 0.03 ms response, it's basically esports rocket fuel. The stand does yoga, tilts, swivels, pivots, so your setup looks fresh whether you rage or chill. But dodge the USB drama, because this monitor said no thanks to extra ports, and don't mention the occasional firmware bug unless you want flashbacks. 8 out of 10. LG UltraGear 27GS93QEB. LG's UltraGear lands on your desk like a slick stealth bomber, serving up jaw-dropping OLED blacks that make horror games feel extra spooky. Gaming at 240Hz and 0.03 ms response, this beast makes every frag look buttery. Plus all the G-Sync and FreeSync goodness keeps screen tearing in the shame corner. The stand is basically a gymnast doing a tilt-pivot routine, but don't loiter on static HUDs unless burn-in is your favorite party trick. It's a tad pricey, but hey, winning is priceless and losing is embarrassing. 9 out of 10. Asus ROG Swift OLED PG34WCDM. Meet the ultra-wide ringmaster with a curve that hugs your eyeballs and a name longer than the average Steam library. This 34-inch OLED brings true HDR, 240Hz carnage, and input lag measured in micronaps. So good, your reflexes will never get blamed again. Features galore. Smart KVM, AuraSync RGB, enough ports to dock a space shuttle, and special motion blur magic if you're nostalgic for 120Hz. Stupidly smooth and beautifully extra, but you'll need a desk the size of a moon crater. 9 out of 10. BenQ Mobiuz EX270QM. This monitor is so fast at 240 Hz, it makes lag feel like a myth you read about back in dial-up days. Colors hit you right in the eyeballs, vibrant enough to shame your living room TV, plus HDR that actually pops and doesn't just whisper, "I'm here." Built-in speakers and a surprise subwoofer mean you can game without headphones and still annoy your neighbors, all while feeling a little bit fancy with the included remote. The menu system is more confusing than IKEA furniture instructions, and it's a bit pricey, but you do get that premium gamer flex vibe for your battle station. 8 out of 10.